Genzin, boom bang.
Hello everyone, nubkeks here. Welcome back to Nub Raids. Today we're talking about the 10 champions we want to see buff next. And I say we, of course, because we're joined by none other. It's been a while since we've seen you, actually. It's YST. How's it going, dude?
How's it going, Nubby? It's nice to be back here seeing you and your audience after a very long time. It's been
Too
about
long.
at least 5 weeks since our last collab, right?
Yeah, it might be. I don't know. Time
Yeah.
flies. It's
Just
crazy.
flies.
Yeah. We're going to Japan in October, and we're like, oh my god,
Yeah.
that's really not far away anymore.
I remember
Very
when
soon.
it feels like yesterday, but it was actually last year when you first told me, oh, I'm going to Japan. And I was like,
Yeah,
oh, yeah, it's just going to come around so quickly. And now it's like so close, right?
almost
Pretty cool.
here. Yep. Almost. Well, you know what else is surely coming around soon as well, YSC, is buffs to these champions that need them. So,
Yes.
do you want to start us off with your first pick? We're going to do 5 each, back and forth.
Mhm.
Excuse me.
Yeah, so I guess like Raid has actually been up for some buffs recently, right? I think
Yeah.
my favorite one they did recently was Lady of Iref. I think that was a pretty good change.
Yeah.
She would have definitely been on the list though today if they didn't do it, but
Yeah, it's
that kind
actually
of
not live in game yet. It's just been teased. Yeah.
just been teased, yeah. But I'm
It
looking
is.
forward to playtesting that one. But I guess
Mm.
first one on my list, it was actually very hard to mention this because I've loved this champion, a legacy one for sure, and it's Vizier Ovelis from the Dark
Ooh.
Elves. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And Vizier was, I'd say, still is to this day, a very good debuff extender, right? For clan boss progression. But I just feel like the game has changed with all the power creep and stuff. And I would love to give him some extra oomph here. And I would say primarily for that A2. Because right now it's a single target decrease attack, block buffs, and heal reduction. I
Yeah.
think
4-turn
think
cooldown. Yeah.
I think what Raid should do is bring that down to a 3 turn, but also make it AoE to make it Hydra viable. And
Yeah.
I think then it's like still good in Clan Boss, still good in, it could be good for Amius, even keep the heal reduction in there,
Mm.
and just great for Hydra as well. So I definitely want to change that at very minimum. But I think that A1, maybe I would give him a debuff spread as well. So you got the increasing of duration of debuffs, but then
Mhm.
also a chance to debuff spread random debuffs that you extended in a sense. Could be pretty nice. But
Cool.
yeah, those
Yeah.
short changes I think is definitely worth it for him.
Yeah, it's a good pick. Good pick. Yeah, because he is such an iconic champion from like all
Yeah.
the clan boss stuff back in the day, and yeah, he does not see too much play. I think you see him a bit with the A3 debuff spread with bombs, like with Astrolith. They can go together in
Yeah, it's a
arena.
pretty niche
Very
scenario
niche.
stuff.
Very niche.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, for mine, so my first one, I was thinking, well, we had Jingwan. You well know has been buffed not once but at least
Oh
twice now,
my
multiple
gosh.
times. They
Was
need
you
to buff.
around?
Hmm?
Was you around when I did the Jing one?
Yeah.
I said it 5,000 times live
Yeah,
on
that's
stream.
right. That's
That
right.
was getting flashbacks, man.
So that's what YST has promised to do after this video. He's going to say all 10 champions 5,000 times
Ah,
each
God.
after this to get. No, he's not. But Jin want buff multiple times. Now, well, I was thinking when they talked about the Nobble buff that's coming as well, which is nice,
Mhm.
they were talking about Nobble being paired with a champion that has also been buffed multiple times that needs another buff with Fortus.
Okay.
Fortus has been buffed twice, and he's still not there. Like when you think about a void legendary damage dealer, you're thinking of at the top end champions like Taris and Georgid, etc. Fortus,
Mhm.
he's just nowhere near that level in the equation. This guy needs another buff. They need to go back. I think it's something that could happen if Jingwan can get buffed like 10 different times. So can Fortus until they finally
Yeah.
be useful. But yeah, Fortus is a damage dealer. He's a bit awkward, like he always crits if the target's under fear, true fear, but then his other moves, you need to build crit rate anyway. It's very clunky. And he's an interesting champion. Like the true fear is already it's quite a limitation, to be honest, playing around
Yeah.
fears. So yeah, I would love to see him again get another. He needs another look. He needs another buff. Do the Jingwan treatment, Plarium. Come in. I think definitely rework some of this stuff about critting if they're under fear. It's just there's power in that doesn't need to be. Make him hit harder instead, or make it irresistible. Do something. But yeah, potentially good champion. But they've buffed him several times. They haven't gone far enough. Go back again.
Yeah, 100%. No, I agree. I don't really see Fortis being used. I don't have him personally to speak too much on it, but I've heard that the damage just isn't there. for most players. So
Yeah. It's such a hassle to play around the fears as well that it feels like if you do play around them, there should be a big payoff. You could just be like, how about I just use Narcissus instead? Okay, done. All right, what's your next champion then, YSC?
Next up, we're gonna go into. Do you know what? I was like Vizier. I was thinking about it. I think Rhazin Scarhide.
Oh yes,
permanent fusion. It's a
yeah.
I think it's a discussion that needs to be had because that bogged down blessing on that A3, like, imagine coming in new to the game nowadays, right? And you got a 7-turn cooldown down to a 6-turn with books.
Yeah.
Like we've got a Mans the Magnificent in the game on a 3-turn that steals everything, puts you to stun. Like the comparison is just far and beyond, right? So I think something needs to change with that bogged down blessing at the very least. But what I would also like to see, I don't know, maybe your viewers can let me know in the comments, is maybe just make that A2 AoE.
Oof, that would be very strong, yeah. It would be beast
AoE
mode.
decrease defense and weaken, because of course I know we get it from Lydia a little bit later on, but when I was actually breaking it down for something on the website, there's not a ton of AoE decrease defense and weaken champions in the game. Still to this day, like, and most of them being void legendary, like Bellinor's, Venus, even Roxanne is conditional. He has to be like under veil to set it up, and so maybe an AoE placement could be pretty nice, or maybe a take on that epic. What's her name? It is from the Demon Spawn. Where is she? Like Padma, like the way that she just places decrease attack on a single enemy, but then if she crits, she places it on all enemies.
Oh yeah.
Maybe do that to Rhazin. Like if he crits with the decrease defense and weaken, place it on all enemies, something like that.
Interesting.
I think he did. And also, his base speed is so damn low. Like, what was it, 92?
Yeah, 91. It's
91 is base speed needs to change. A3 needs to change. I think he needs to just keep up with the times, right?
Yeah.
I think for Rhazin.
Yeah. If any players are coming in and be like, wow, you content creators talk about power creep a lot in the game. Yeah, just compare Rhazin to Armans, and it's like, okay, yeah, I see what you mean.
It's crazy, man.
Yeah, it's a good chat, and this would be so helpful to so many players because the funny thing is he's harder to get now because there's so many epics. Like back in the day, it wasn't too bad. You get them eventually. Now it's kind of rough. Like some events to get the epics to fuse him and making him actually more worth getting. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, it's a shame because I really do like Rhazin, but he definitely does need like cool at the very least. Like you're talking like the bare bones, reduce the cooldowns of that A3 to a 3-turn.
It should be 3 or 4 turn. 100%. It's way too long. All right, my next one. I did a video on her testing her with Scarhide a couple of days ago. It's Thea the Tomb Angel. I would love to see this champion getting some buffs. So I ran her with Scarhide because she's got her damage scales with hexes on the enemy team. So Scarhide's good hex champion. Put them together. And like, she's fine. She was okay, but you could really run any damage dealer in her place. And I think there's a bit of a problem I think there's a couple of big problems with Thea. So first of all is this sort of hex champion. Obviously leans into playing in Hydra, and she self-buffs a Perfect Veil. Oh, protects you from Torment. You're like, yeah, okay. All that stuff is cool. But some of the stuff just doesn't work for Hydra. Like, to get the full damage stacking on Hex Reaper, you need 6 enemy targets. Really awkward. You can only get that in Spider. So that's very clunky. I'd love to see this be able to stack up to max on just 4 targets. So you're getting more bang for your buck in Arena if you use Hex, which is hard. Or in Hydra to make her like a stronger choice there. And yeah, like she's sort of in that weird spot where she's got this chance to fear enemies if they lose HP, which is like, okay, it's good for waves, it's good for Arena. But again, I wouldn't like to see that changed. I think it's kind of cool. But yeah, I think this champion could do with some buffs because she is the first champion you get from Doom Tower hard. So it's a champion everyone can get. I think she'd be a perfect champion to really focus in on being a good Hydra damage dealer that combos with Hex. So yeah, you put a Hex champion in there, and Thea is like a go-to for, players who've been playing for a year or two. Okay, I can go to my Thea, and she'll do really good work. But yeah, she did really high damage when she first came out, really high. But that since has been drastically power crept as well. Her damage isn't that crazy anymore compared to newer champions, and she's visually cool. So I'd like to see her get some buffs.
Yeah, it's a really cool aesthetic champion, and I remember we had this conversation where we was ranking, I think it was best and worst champions in the game, and you nearly chose Thea at that point, So it just shows that she definitely. Do you know what, she's got the potential. I do like the champion. It's just
Yeah.
missing that. I guess it's just a synergy problem, right? Because even when I was using it, I've got a 5-star blessing, and I was like, ooh, let me just slap her in some cruelty, have some fun with it, see how much damage she could do on hard or normal for one of my teams. And it was good, but I just felt like the hex is just randomized, and
Yeah.
you kind of still rely on another hex champion to enable the kit, which is, kind of defeats the object, right?
You do. And like one problem you run into nowadays as well with Hydra is like this extra turn in her skill for a damage dealer can be quite punishing because it's not a damaging skill. So you're basically a lot of Hydra comps nowadays are hitting the turn limit. So these extra turn skills, unless they're doing something really good, this is not really good. Like it might even be better to turn this off and just not use it because the extra turn is actually costing you more damage.
If they was so just for like a simple fix, right? I was thinking A1 make it AoE.
Yeah, that could be cool.
Is what I would probably do, and then that A3 maybe just give it an increased attack, so then you're not getting punished for your damage. So she's got that self buffing.
Yeah, that would definitely help. Yeah, or
it could probably help the whole kit.
Have an attack even baked into this as well. That could be pretty insane. I don't know. That might be too much, but yeah. And I'd love to see the A2, the damage cranked up on that. It's the big. It's also a long cooldown. I guess because of the extra turn here. They could definitely lower that cooldown a turn as well. Yeah. But that's Thea. What's your next one then? Number 3.
Number 3. It's actually a Doom Tower champion. We're just selecting all the free ones today, Nubs. Look at this. I'm gonna go with Cromax.
Oh, he was my next one on the list. I'm not even kidding. That's funny. I'll change.
It's good. List. It just shows that he definitely deserves to be on this list, right?
Oh, it's shocking. Yeah.
I was so excited to get this champion and try him out, and I completely, for months and months and months, read his kit wrong completely.
Oh.
And what I read it wrong was I thought, yo, we're playing this game for years. We finally got Cromax. In my mind, I read that A2 as AoE. I was like, yes, right. Beautiful. It's a bloody single target block buffs. I was like, what's going on here, man?
I know, it's shocking.
Yep. So I would say for a starter's raid, this needs to be an AoE block boss with a 10-meter fill. I think we'll see a lot more of Cromax in the Hydra boss.
Yep.
Also, the Blood Moon, AoE provoke decreased accuracy is nice.
Yeah.
On a 4-turn cooldown, but on a 4-turn for a legendary, I would like that to be a 2-turn duration on the provoke.
Yeah.
And I think that alone, honestly, would be a good fix to Cromax. I think the Hex stuff is a bit quirky with the passive, you can't get hit from decapitated heads, which is a downside.
Yeah.
But I think overall, give him an AoE block boss with a 10-meter fill and a 2-turn provoke. He'll just become a fundamentalist, even if you need to bring in other Hex champions.
Yeah.
So
yeah. They could put this to a 3-turn cooldown as well. That could work.
3-turn cooldown or a 2-turn duration, one of the two.
Yeah. No, I totally agree. And like, I think that the thing for me that's most disappointing about Cromax is like, players can be struggling to get good provoke champs or decrease accuracy and block buffs for Hydra. It's the perfect champ to be good for Hydra for accounts and a good reward for Doom Tower Hard. He's not the best, but he's good. If, as you said, he works as you're proposing, then he'd be good. So yeah, they need to change it. Whereas right now he's basically useless. You wouldn't even bother. What's the point?
There's so much flawed of that champion. I think out of every Doom Tower one that I can think of, I think him and maybe that fire dude, I forgot his name, probably needs the most work.
Oh, he's dreadful. Yeah. He's really bad. Okay. Well, my next one then, let's go to a golden oldie, an OG champion that has really again fallen off. I'm going with Biggin. Would be quite a fun champ to see buffed. Again, it wouldn't be like major, it wouldn't be game changing. It'd just be kind of nice. Biggin, he's one of those classic, everything is an AoE champ, but he's got a 3-turn on this move. That's fine. Now it's got a miserable. It's a 50% chance to stun, and then a lower 70% chance of decrease accuracy. Those chances I think could go up in the modern day and age as well. It's a bit weak. The big one, though, again, going to cooldowns, it's a 7, books to a 5-turn cooldown on his other AoE as well, which has a 30% chance of placing decreased speed. Like, what? What is that?
It's crazy, right?
Just bizarre, yeah. And it doesn't book up extra chances or anything. Like, this move is, again, this should really be a 3-turn cooldown, AoE, decreased turn meter, decreased speed, just straight up, lower cooldown, make it all happen. So I'd love to see changes like that happening to Biggin. He's got a weird aura, but you could leave that in, I guess. But it'd be fun to see him. He wouldn't be breaking the game or anything crazy, but he could come in as like a Hydra champion. Like, okay, decrease accuracy, decreased speed, he's doing damage, everything's an AoE. All right, that's cool. Any wave-based content, he'd be better. Yeah, he's an OG champion. I'd like to see him get some love. The poor old Ogren don't get enough love, so I think he deserves it.
It's true. Biggin was one of my first champions I ever pulled for legendaries, and I think his base stats kind of held the test of time. So he does have the foundations to. Oh, you never got Biggin?
I never got him.
So he's got like 1,575 base attack. He's got nice base speed for a damage dealer, 104, 63% base on the crit damage. So the foundations are there in terms of stats. He just needs to, like you said, up his buff chances, give him that 100% to place those effects. And I think he'd also be one of the best champions in the game for the Dark Fae if he gave those skills some love. So for sure, I agree.
Great call out. All right, what's your next one then? After you stole Cromax.
Take it. We need to bring Cromax to the max. What's this, number 4?
Yes.
Okay.
Number 4.
I'm looking at my long list of champions.
I think we have 10 each, but we're not going to make you listen to 10 each. We're limiting it to 5. Our top 5.
All right. I think this one kind of resonates with a bunch of players, so I'm going to go with this one.
Okay.
I'm going to go with Adelyn.
Oh, I like that. That's a bold choice, and I appreciate it.
It's a bold choice, but I think bold choices need to be made at times.
They need to be made. Yeah.
I think Adelyn, of course, many players playing at the moment got her for free, right? Is she still available for daily login? No, right?
No, I think it's done now. Pretty sure.
Okay, but regardless, like a bunch of players that's probably playing right now have got her, and I personally use her. This is coming from somebody that likes Adelyn. I use her in my Sun Devil team. I like the usage of that A3 ability.
Yeah.
I think my issue with her is what I would change is just make the A3 AoE. Give it some universal value. I think even though that you can't sleep the Hydra heads, a decreased speed / decreased attack option is
great,
still... It's very rare to get. Like, there's only champions like Isra Dreamsong that can currently bring that to the table. And you see how much power that she has, right? I think the A2 healing script, like the percentage of a percentage in terms of restoration is just... It's just not enough. It's not like a full restoration from a Grand Oak Padraig or a Marishka the Unbreakable. It's just you're basically looking at this as a standalone healing ability, which many champions can do. I'd probably, honestly, if we've got champions like Grand Oak that can fully restore, I would just give her a full restoration HP on the A2 and make the A3 AoE sorted. Honestly, I'd be happy with that.
Yeah, should be really nice then. Yeah. Be a good
A1
buff.
sleep is a bit nifty, but, there's the case uses to sleep in faction wars or whatever. So if they want to keep that, whatever. But I think that A3 and A2 needs to have a bit more value for this day and age, and it's just lacking that for me.
Yeah, that's a good call. Yeah, I like that. And so many people have her, as you said, that it would make a really big positive impact. Yeah, she become like even potentially could be decent for early game arena players when there's no stone skin, that sort of stuff.
Like, could you just imagine, like in Hydra, like decrease speed, decrease attack with a full restoration and heal? I honestly feel like she would be one of the most used champions in the game for Hydra with those simple changes. Personally.
All right, my next one up again, going back to an OG champion. He still sees some use actually, but I'd love to see a bit of a touch up to his kit to sort of modernize him a bit. Actually, Mountain King.
He's on my list. I stole the Cromax, you stole the Mountain King.
But yeah, so like, this guy is mad. Like, he's an attack-based damage dealer. He's got 31,000 base HP, which is just ridiculous. 85 speed. I think he's probably the slowest champion in the game. He's certainly in the conversation. Slowest legendary for sure. But yeah, he's a weird one. He's just very simple. Just single target damage that scales off his health and attack. I don't know what you would change with him. Like, he gets more attack when he kills an enemy, so he does start to hit somewhat hard. He definitely, I would love to see them just do something creative and modernize him a bit. Like, I don't know, you could have an extra turn if he kills somebody, or...
I've got a simple fix for this guy,
Okay, go, hit me.
I would say, I'm going to take half of what you said, the granting extra turn when you kill an enemy. I think that's definitely needed for single target nuker in this day and age. You should be kind of rewarded for that. I would make this champion ignore Stone Skin.
Oh, yes, that would be great.
Single target, ignore Stone Skin, and 50% defense with an extra turn if you kill an enemy. And then now you've got a snowball champion that can take out their damage dealers. Imagine he could be the best UDK counter in the game if you give him that. Because he's got the power to be able to take them down with that ignore defense. So, yeah, I think a single target, ignore Stone Skin, and I think we'll see a lot more Mountain King.
Yeah, that's a great call. I love it. Something fun, you could have a passive, he gives shields. Like, I don't know, you kill a target one of these moves, and then it gives your team like a shield equal to a portion of his health. Kind of bad against Narcissus, obviously, but it could be kind of fun because he's got such high HP. Like you see some people Mountain King and Bolster set was a thing for a while as well, or it probably still is in Siege.
He's a pretty good. Like I used him in live arena for Helicath counter A3.
Oh
Because
yeah, ignore block damage.
He ignores the block damage. He was a pretty nifty pick. But like you mentioned, I think one of the biggest standouts is that bloody base speed, man. That's just ridiculous.
So slow.
It's like you're trying to build him with damage, right? And you're like, where the heck am I? Where's my speed? And he just realizes it's not basing on anything. So it needs to change, man.
Yeah. Good. Yeah. Good call. Good call. Yeah, I like it. I liked your ideas there a lot. All right, and then is this your last one? I think it might be your last pick. Choose well.
Man, do you want to do? Can we get one honorable epic mention? Because I've got one that really
sure. Yeah, we've just been talking.
Really been irking me for 3 years. I would say we actually spoke about this one behind the scenes, so I'm going to throw this one in. I'm going to go Warchief.
Ooh, yes.
Yeah, with Warchief, honestly, he's a very good provoker, and that's about it, right?
Yeah, yeah. 3-turn provoke, like wow, on a like 3-turn, it books to a 2-turn. It's mad.
Head of Decay sees this guy, and they're like, "For God's sake, I gotta be dealing with this, right?"
Yeah, and then he does nothing else. He's just stand there.
I would say one upside of this champion is you do not need books to become effective, right?
Yeah.
Like you got a 3-turn cooldown provoke on a 3-turn cooldown without books. It's still substantial.
Mm-hmm.
What I would honestly do to this guy is, I got no clue, man.
I think he needs he needs like another ability, basically.
Yeah, he kind of does need another ability. And do you know what I'd wish for Warchief is maybe give him some self buffs like a Taunt or something to become a Mischief tank.
Ooh, yeah, and that would be good.
Also, I would like a thing like, do you know how Gallius is, the mythical champion, where if you counterattack, you get an enemy max HP A1. I would give him the same mechanics. So I'd do like, places a taunt and a counterattack on this champion for mischief targeting. If he actually counterattacks, you'll do a enemy max HP with his A1, and then you got the A2 for provoke on a 3-turn duration. And I think even though it's not going to be overpowered, it would give this champion some use in the game. So yeah, I think just make him the kind of a variation of Gallius, honestly, because he does 2-turn provoke on a AoE, but just make him single target, right? So
yeah. I love that he's so out of date. Look at his A1. Damage inflicted is proportional to defense. Like
damage based on defense as well. It's like just repeating themselves here.
Yeah. Like they would not put that text in anymore. That's very, very, very old. Yeah. I think just like an extra move, counterattack and taunt would make him
really nice. It would flow nicely with his kit for sure.
Yeah. Cool. Okay. Oh, my last pick then. Oh, this is rough. I've got a few here. I'm torn on who exactly to pick. I'm gonna go. Okay, I'm gonna go for maybe a simple option, but I think a straightforward one, which is Raglin.
Ooh,
I also have Blind Seer and like a similar thing, but I think there's actually several of these Void Revivers that really don't see much play at all. Raglin, Blind Seer, I think are obviously out of date. And then even like Raka, even that new Ogren guy as well. I can't remember it. Bellatar. Like none of them really see play and are in fact, often outclassed by the non-voids. It's quite weird. And especially with Mythicals coming in now, I think they really could give some major buffs to some of these Void Revivers. Like, I mean, consider Sifi versus Raglin. It's not even funny. It's kind of sad, really, the comparison, or Duchess or Elva versus them, etc. It's just clunky. So yeah, I'd love to see Raglin get some love. She's got a great revive. Revive is brilliant. Her A1, kind of a little bit rubbish. Some random turn meter fill. And then her A2 is terrible, where it's a 4-turn cooldown and the heal's equal to her attack. Like, you're not building attack on this champion. It's just not right. Like, this should be at least a 3-turn. It should be scaling off of her HP. It probably needs to give a couple of buffs as well, like, block debuffs, something else too. She needs a lot. She needs a lot. It really is just, she's got a full turn meter revive on a 2-turn cooldown. It's hard carries, this champ. She could be very good with some more buffs. I think she needs a fairly substantial set of additions to her kit, though, to make her good. I don't know how you feel about Raglin.
I mean, it's a very great area because, like, if I was early game and I pulled her, she would be my most used champion. She's absolutely bonkers as a kind of baseline. But I think in this day and age, like you said, I think the A2 needs to be very similar to Skytouch Shaman. I know it's an epic that I'm relating it to, but she brings in a cleanse, a block debuffs, and a revive on death on a 3-turn cooldown. And when you compare that to a Void Legendary, this one's just not cutting it, right? What I would change apart from the A2, I think Raglin needs a passive.
Yes, she does no passive. Yeah.
She needs, I think, if you can give Raglin a very this day and age passive, I can't recall what I would do right now, but
You could give her some sort of like, you know, like a Galathier-esque passive, like a cheat death thing. That would be
yeah,
really good. Like, okay, your team gets nuked and she survives on like whatever and heals herself up. So it's like, okay, everyone got killed, but at least Raglin survives and can revive someone full turn meter, and you go from there. That could be very powerful.
Or do you know with her single target revive, maybe give that target a block damage for 1 turn as well?
That could be really strong too.
It could be pretty, because that will just yeah, that's the thing. But the thing is, it's like, because you're not completely cutting in, it's not giving insta turns like a cardinal, right? So if you revive an ally with block damage, at least gives them a second to just recoup, right? Is what I would kind of getting at. But
yeah, I gotcha. Yeah. All right, cool.
Oh, it is full. Oh, wait, sorry, my bad. It is full turn meter, right?
It's full turn meter. I don't know. Does that give them an instant turn?
It's not. It's not. I think it's based on turn meter units. There's similar champions like that. It's not instant turn.
Boost their turn meter to max.
There's a difference. I'm pretty sure there's a difference in it. So
yeah, like Wukong comes back with, I think, full turn meter, but it's not.
Yeah, but he doesn't immediately take a turn. Yeah,
100% turn meter. Yeah, all the wording on that stuff is really bad. They've gotten better recently on newer champions. They say it gives them an instant turn effect. That's like a new thing. Like with I mean, like who like the Shuzhen does it where it's an instant turn. I think they're doing that more now. But yeah, like all that wording is very vague. I think
you're right though. There's a really cool synergy to be had, because if they turn that to instant turn, like we just spoke about, and let's just say you get nuked, you kind of got that passive like a Galathier now, and you're preventing her death. Imagine reviving a Baron. It's like it's the ultimate comeback, right? It's like, oh my god, I got wiped. Boom, boom, bang, Baron's back, wiped them out. So
yeah, she's just looking at her now. She's basically Galathier form 1, but worse. Really, is what she is. It's actually quite funny. He's got AoE revive, not with a full turn meter, but perfect veil. He's got cleanse with heal, turn meter boost, block debuffs on a 3 turn. His A1 is turn meter fill for your allies, and then he's got a cheat death and less damage for resistance. Like, she's literally worse than half of Galathier. It's actually kind of shocking. I hadn't actually thought about that until right now. That's actually shockingly bad. Yikes. Well, yeah. Okay, Raglin needs a big buff. Okay, you said you had an epic. Let's finish with that one. You had an epic you wanted to see buff.
Yeah, one that's... Do you know what? On YouTube, right, there's 2 videos on this champion. One is by me 3 years ago, by the way. And then another is from another content creator 3 years ago as well. So no one's spoken about this dude.
Okay.
Pestilus.
Who?
He's a pest.
Oh,
you see, I don't even know who he is.
Knight's Revenant, is it?
Yes.
Yeah, Pestilus. That's right. He's got a leech, burn, and increased accuracy, right? Yeah.
This guy, right? He looks badass. I think he's one of the best looking epic champions. I really love it. It's unique. No one else looks like him. Like, come on, man. Have you read that? The A2 has a 50% chance, 75% with all these books, to place 1 burn on an enemy, right, for 2 turns. It's not even 100% chance to place it, and it's like, oh, guys, do you know what? If you miss that burn by some chance, we'll give you a 15% 10 meter field. Don't worry, we got you, man.
I know, it's shocking. 100% burn, please.
Just give him a AoE 100% chance like a Mordecai with a 10 meter fill, by the way, at the same time, and a heal. Give him it all. Like, come on. What's going on here? The Leech A1, I don't mind that at all. I think a Leech A1 is useful.
Yeah, and, this move's okay.
I think increased accuracy, increased crit damage. Do I care about the increased crit damage in a support kit like that?
It's kind of just a random not doing much thing, but not the worst. The A2 honestly, is the crime, though.
The A2's I think the A2 is what just makes him not talked about the most.
Yeah,
it's terrible.
It's just such a feels bad if you miss that burn. It's just the tiny turn meter is like, this is meant to make you feel better, but it's so shit. It just makes you feel worse because it reminds you that you failed something that shouldn't fail. Yeah, and he does look cool. That's a great call. Yeah, very Dark Souls 3.
Yeah, he's pretty badass, man. But yeah, they need to give him an AoE burn, man. Please, Raid, just sort it out. Quick fix.
Quick fix. Well, listen, there we go, guys. They are 10, well, technically 11, I suppose, champions that we want to see buffed next. Let us know what you think. Did we miss any crucial ones? Or do you have any solutions for the champions that we were debating on as to how to easily fix them? Let Plarium know in the comments down below. YST, thanks for joining. Anything you want to say here before the end of the video and we hop over to your channel?
No, just appreciate you helping me get back into the swing of content creation again. It felt nice to record a video. I was actually like, I was like scared to record. I was like day one again. But yeah, really cool topic. I'm sure there's many we missed out on, like the Gamarans, the usual suspects that we banged on
Yeah.
about for years. But
Yeah, right.
it was really cool to see our top 10. Which ones we want to see next, right?
That's it. That's it. Yeah. Okay. Well, guys, you'll find a link to YST's channel down below. Make sure to hop on over there and subscribe. We are going to be doing a video talking about our favorite Hydra champions over on YST's channel. So come see that one too. And yeah, there we go. That's it. Thank you for watching, everyone. We'll see you next time. Goodbye.